Alright guys, welcome back. I'm going to show you how to do your spark plugs and your coils. This is for a 2002 to 2006 CRV, but anything really with a 2.4 liter engine. And right now I'm just showing you all the stuff you guys will need. I'll explain a little bit more later, but we're going to go ahead and start with the 10 and take off these top bolts off the top beauty cover. Now this is going to give us access to the coils and the plugs underneath. So again, you just want to take your time, carefully crack each bolt, and slowly remove it. You should be able to just rip them right off once you get them loose, especially once you get it to a point where you can just finger remove the bolts. Don't forget guys, make sure you keep them all together. You don't want to lose any of the pieces when you go to reinstall the cover. And if you need to have a cigarette while you're doing this, I would recommend it because it takes a little while. So now as you can see, just carefully lifting it up, you can see that one bolt still stuck in it. That's how it is. Next you're going to take your 10 and you're going to start removing your coil pack bolts. Now I haven't done these yet on this particular car, but sometimes people put them so tight and you have to really put some arm pressure to crack them loose, as you guys can see right there. So remember, there's actually only 3 bolts we're pulling out because one of the bolts was stuck in the beauty cover, as I showed you guys previously. So what I'm doing here is really not that important, but it is to me. I'm just labeling the coils so I know exactly which chamber I had pulled them out of. As you guys can see, I'm just labeling them from right to left with the numbers so I can remember. Don't forget these 2 little things for the beauty cover. Now, next we're going to unplug the coils, starting from right to left, or driver's side to passenger side. I'm pulling them out one by one, as you guys can see. My arm is a little bit in the way, but whatever, you guys get the idea. Just go one at a time. Pull your 10mm out, then pull your coil out, and work right down the line until you got the last one out. I see a lot of guys pulling out the whole harness there, the electrical one, but you really don't need to, just as long as you have enough room to put your coils back in and plug them right back in as well. So here I am fishing the last coil out. I mean, they're really not that bad. I just consider it a part of maintenance, really. Next we're going to go ahead and get our extensions out here, and we are going to start working on the spark plugs. It's pretty long, you want to be able to reach down in there. We're going to take our 16 deep socket, fairly deep anyway, stick it on the end there, and just quickly look down the chambers here and just really gently put that ratchet down in there and hear it click, and then just crack it loose, each one at a time, very slowly. You don't want to be in a rush doing this job. Again guys, we're dealing with aluminum block. You really got to take your time, and that's why you see me pull off the back of the ratchet and just finish it off by hand. That's just how I do it, as gentle as possible. Then we're going to take our pull tool, our magnet tool, and once the spark plug is loosened all the way, we'll just go into the chamber and pull it up with that. Nice and easy. I wanted to keep the filming quite long for you guys here because I want you to really see the process of pulling out these very lightly and slowly. Now again, it's the same thing for everyone. We're just going in there real slow after we've cracked it and just pulling it out by hand and really taking our time here. Here comes the second one. I don't know why I showed you guys every single one, but Shit, why not? So here we are on number 3. Now working left to right. So you guys can see how we took them out. We pulled them out right to left, and now we're going left to right. Again, pulling it out with our magnet there as well. Showing you again. Now for number 4. Remember guys, don't let any debris get in the spark plug hole. This one was a little bit tighter and squeakier. Just switch around there, get a better angle. You always want to be comfortable doing this stuff as well. You don't want to be, you know, exerting yourself too far. Look how dirty that one is. But anyway, so here's the trick. You take a 3/8 inch tubing. You're going to take your new plugs, just like the one I have here. And again, very, very carefully. You want to keep everything in nice order. This is my trick. You're going to put the hose right over the end of it, and you're just going to slowly feed it into the chamber like you're seeing me do it here until you get it in the hole, and you're just going to straighten your tubing and just nicely snug it in there a little bit, just enough so you could pull it off and tighten it with the ratchet. So now we're moving on to the next one. Same idea. Boom, put it right on the end. And again, slowly feed it down the tube, making sure you don't drop it or anything like that until it sits in the housing nice. Again, just enough so you can pull off the tubing. Number 3, again, we're moving from right to left now. I just put the light in there. It helps me to see right down inside the chamber. Again, taking a look at it, positioning it correctly, making sure I'm twisting it into the threads. Again, we're going clockwise, and you can see it's a little bit of a technique, but it'll save you a lot of hassle. And then that's it. You just pull it out and it's done. Now number 4, this is the last one. We're just going to look down the chamber as we always do. We're going to pop the spark plug in, and then we're just going to slowly put it in like we've always done, and just line it up like we've done for all of them. Same process guys, very simple. A monkey can do it, okay? And again, don't do this when it's windy because you'll have debris and shit everywhere. And then once you feel that it's nicely in, you just go ahead and tug it off, and that's it. So now we're just going to go back in, working from left to right again. We're going to go ahead and hand tighten each one of these spark plugs first, as you see me doing. You just want to do it until you can feel it snug up in the hole. So now we're moving on to the next one. The same idea all the way along. We want to close those chamber entrances off as quick as we can. We don't want any dust or debris getting in them as well. So this is the final one, and we're just going to tighten it same as the other ones, just finger tight. Next, we're going to go and we're going to actually put the ratchet end on the ratchet, and we're just going to snug them in nice and tight. Remember guys, aluminum housing, really take your time, don't over torque it. Just like that. You do that for all of them. Nice and snug. Okay, and you're just going to move down same way. It's the last one. I've skipped the video ahead a little bit. Now I'm just double checking them all. I'm making sure that they're all nice and tight, because the last thing you want when you're going down the road is misfires and bullshit. Making sure, you know, not to over tighten them, because if you do that, you're done. You're going to strip the housing, and that's going to be a nightmare from there. Okay, so now that all the spark plugs are nice and snugged in, not too tight, not too loose, we're going to go ahead and start pulling out our coil packs. And you can see I'm just got the first one going here. They're not Denzos, but I think they'll do just fine. Everything is pretty generic. And for these, you're going to start working from left to right, and that will make it so that you can actually plug the coils back in to the harness. If you do it the other way, you'll have to pull the harness up in order to plug the coils in. This way you don't have to lift that up. And there you saw me just tell you I'm working from left to right. So again, you're just going to plug the electrical back in until it clicks, and then you push it back down and move on to your next one. We're going to slip the other one in. And we're just going to, there's the clip right there, as you guys can see. We're just going to snug it in there, and we're going to clip it right back in how it was when we took it off. Now you might have to adjust yourself in order to not break the clip, but make sure you guys do adjust yourself and save your clip. So now we're going to go ahead and move down along to the third one, and here we go again. You guys pretty much know the process at this point, I would assume. Slip the coil in, just snug it down on top of your plug, and then clip it in just like this. And now we're almost done. We're moving on to our last coil that I've already taken out of the box. So I'm just gonna slip that one in, just like that, and we're just going to clip that last clip in there just like that. Now just go along and I'll make sure that they're all just snug down. The bolts will do this by regardless, but now you take your 3 bolts here, and you remember where you took them out of, so just put them right back in the same spot, and you're just going to finger tighten the 10mm bolts back into the coil packs here, holding them down the same way you took them out. You may have to move the coil around a little bit to line up the hole, but if you have to, do so. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit for you there. There you go. You guys can see I'm putting the second last bolt in, because the last bolt is actually still connected to the beauty cover, which you'll see soon when I throw that on. But there's a better angle of me screwing the 10mm in so you can really see. So there we go. Now those 10mm are in. We're going to put these 2 little things back in the back. Those are just for the cover. Take our 10mm, and we're just going to nicely snug down these coil pack bolts. Again, we're not going crazy here. We just want them to sit nicely snug in place, just like that. Just a little bit, boom, that's it. Next one, tighten it the same way, and then boom, that's it. Now, back for the cover. You guys can see that 1 bolt sticking out through the bottom there. That's going to be your last bolt to hold on the beauty cover. Just checking that that wiring harness is pushed back down again, or the coil harness, whatever you want to call it. Then just again carefully fit up this beauty cover back into place, and slowly thread the bolts back in the same way how you took it out. So again, here we are with the bolts, throwing it on the back of the cover, just finger tightening everything. Finger tighten it all down, and then we'll end it off again with the ratchet, and we'll just snug it right into place. Just very light, that's all. So that's it. You guys can see this is all the old coil pack, and here I'll show you real quick. That's how I labeled them, just so I could potentially put them back in the same spot if I wanted to. Okay, so all that's left now to do is start it up, and you guys will see it firsthand. Alright guys, so that's it. We've done the plugs, we've done the coils. You saw my trick, how to put them in without stripping the aluminum housing. It's you know, you put it in, you feed it, and you'll feel it fall into place nicely, and you just spin it very lightly. But you can see how incredibly slow the process is, because you have to be very careful. You only have one shot to do it. If you mess it up, you're in trouble. So that's the end of it. 2002 to 2006. Anything with a 2.4 liter VTEC really, and you can use this technique on any car as well.